if one has an allergy to sulfate, you can actually deal with it with, you can methylate excess amounts and deal with that via, so what would you suggest treatment instead of MSM, glucosamine, and chondroitin sulfate? I'd pretty much, you could still take these things. I'd actually recommend taurine more than any of these things, because it helps with fibrosis, breaking down fibrosis, and actually helps. I don't usually recommend a lot of these supplements, only MSM, but the other ones, no. I don't bother. If you're eating enough meat, you should be able to get the sort of essential amino acids to be able to transcript any sort of stuff that you need. The only thing here, if you're a bit sulfur sensitive, some people are, Sue, genetically, then I would consider something like choline. Choline can deal with excess sulfur. So then it would be a methylation issue that needs to be resolved. And a lot of people sometimes may have genetics like I have, which tend to make them choline deficient. So, and choline is very important for neurological, reasons as well. So acetylcholine, when we talk about neurotransmitters and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very important. So that can deal with that problem. Or you can eat more eggs, which come packaged with both sulfur and choline quite a bit. They're very high source. So they're actually a superfood in that regard. So you don't have to supplement. You just eat more eggs and you get 2 for the price of 1 and a whole lot of phospholipids, which is fantastic in that regard. That's your better option. Save yourself some money. In the old days, I'll give you an example. In the old days, when people had, before they had medications, when people got burns victims, what did they give them? They gave them powdered eggs, a powdered egg formula, which would be equivalent to, 30 odd eggs. So I usually, even Jonathan that's come out of surgery recently, I said to him, just take shitloads of eggs, and Sophie's taking cartons and cartons of eggs, which is fantastic. Because really, that's your best, the end of the day, you have to remember, what is your bones made of, and parts of your all your connective tissue? It's all collagen. What's collagen? It's basically protein, certain types of proteins. So bones are mineralized collagen, and your joints are basically, collagen, which is protein. So as long as you're getting sufficient protein in the body, the essential amino acids, your body will transcript. What has the highest utilization? It's eggs, with the highest utilization of any protein source. So if you take that, and we're not talking about bioavailability, eggs and dairy are 100%, but we're talking about the utilization. That means actually being utilized by the body for structural materials. Eggs is number 1. This is why it's been used for many moons before all these modern medications that don't really do much. So when it comes, people come to me and say, I've got joint problems and all that. I say, why aren't you eating more eggs? Skin, they've had, if you're a burn, you've burnt your skin or damaged your skin or whatever, I'd like to see you on quite a few eggs, eating, cartons and cartons of eggs, because you're going to get a whole lot of phospholipids, which are going to be great for all those cell membranes. You're going to get shitloads of cholesterol, which you need for your cell membranes, and you're going to get really high quality protein that you need for your cell membranes. It's the perfect food. So you don't need any of this sort of stuff. I mean, I know we use things like MSM and stuff like that for keratin, to bind keratin. In that regard, you need that sulfur, but there's plenty of sulfur in eggs. You can just eat far more eggs, in a sense, to get better quality in the end. So that's your better option, especially if you're sulfur sensitive.